So the first conditional statement is what we call a while loop. And what a while loop does is it repeats any code written, while, and then underline the word while because that's kind of the key, while the condition stated remains true. Some of you have already started on while loops, and so you kind of figure this out on your own. But while the condition stated is true. Some notes. When the condition is false, the program skips the code within the loop. The condition is checked, so the while loop condition that's stated in your code is checked every time the loop restarts. And what we mean is, it only checks it at the beginning of the loop. And so the while loop statement is checked, and then it runs the code. It will not check again until the end. So for example, if I say, while the bump switch is pushed, run the motor for 5 seconds, turn the LED on, blah, blah, blah. If I push the button, it'll run that line of code. But if I let go halfway, it will continue running. It won't check again to see if the button is pushed until it gets back to the beginning of the code. It kind of goes in a loop. Hopefully after I draw a couple examples, we write out a couple examples, you'll figure out exactly what that means if you're still confused. But while statements are based on what we call Boolean logic. Boo like boo, and Leanne, Boolean logic. And some of you are probably wondering, what is Boolean logic? Let me zoom this in just a little bit. What is Boolean logic, Mr. Anderson? Well, Boolean logic, Boolean, there should be a second O there. Boolean logic is just logic that's either yes or no, true or false. So if something is either true or it's not. And so I say, do I have 5 fingers showing? Yes. Do I have 5 fingers showing? If no, then it's not true, it's false. So if I say, is 10 greater than 10? You would say no. So if I want to know if something's greater than 10, hold on, let's say greater than 3. Is that number greater than 3? If it's not true, then it has to be false. Is that number greater than 3? True. That's what we mean when we say true or false. You can also say yes or no, off or on, etc. So we have some examples of Boolean logic and also how to use some of the symbols in Robot C here. Go ahead and use this, or go ahead and tape this in now. And while you're taping it in, let's look at some examples of Boolean logic. Each statement is either true or false. If it's not true, it has to be false. So does 50 equal 50? Yes. Does 50 equal 100? No. Does 100 equal 50? No. This symbol right here means not equal to. 50 does not equal 50. That is a false statement. 50 does not equal 100. That is a true statement. It's either true or false. If this seems like common sense and obvious and easy to figure out, that's a good thing. If you're confused, let me know. I will hopefully help make this way easier to understand. But again, is 50 less than 100? Yes. Is 100 less than 50? No. Is 50 less than 50? No. But these symbols, whenever you want to say something's equal to in Robot C, you write 2 equal signs. That's it. You don't write 1, you write 2. So if I want to say while your sensor value of your bump switch is equal to 1, I would say sensor value bump switch equals 1. If I want to say is not equal to, I would use an exclamation mark, then an equal sign. If I want to say less than, I use the less than symbol. If I want to say greater than, I use the greater than symbol. If But there is no less than or equal to sign on your keyboard. So what you say is less than and then the equal sign. This means less than or equal to. Same rules apply to greater than or equal to. Hopefully when you start writing your code, this will become incredibly easy, incredibly clear.